You are allowed to be whole.
Welcome to Aloud, the Conscious Leadership and Personal Growth podcast. I am your coach, Dr. Caneel Joyce. This is a special mini-series that I am bringing to you this holiday season. It's called The 12 Days of Christmas, Presents for Presents. I love Christmas and I love giving presents. And so I wanted to give you a few gifts this holiday season. I personally celebrate Christmas. My family does too. And I'm from a hardcore Christmas fanatical family. In fact, my mother's job while I was growing up as a child was an elf maker. She sold elves that she made. That is a true thing. And when you say that in your second grade classroom, what does your mom do for a living? She's an elf maker. People often have questions. What I can say is Christmas begins around June because that's how retail works. Regardless of what you believe or what you celebrate, this time of year, just as humans being in the seasons, it tends to be a really precious and great time to give gifts of appreciation to each other. The true purpose of this mini-series is to bring you some amazingly powerful ideas, some tools to reground you and help you to remain in presence and to return to presence when it feels so far away. This is going to be a really practical gift. I'm a pretty practical person myself. And the gift is a list of unique gift ideas for the conscious leader that you know and love, which may be yourself and it may be somebody else, somebody that you work with or that you admire. These gift ideas are to help you to remain in presence, and each one connects to a daily tip that I have created for you of different ways and tactics that you can experiment with and see if they help you to return to presence as they have done for me. As an even more special gift for you, we are doing 12 giveaways. If you want to enter for a chance to win one of these gifts, all you need to do is go to aloudpodcast.com and sign up to become an Aloud Insider. That will automatically enter you in the drawing to win one of these gifts. You can go to aloudpodcast.com and find the links there where you can purchase some of these gifts for yourself or someone else. What I love about these is they're appropriate for anybody, a family member, a friend, a manager, and a person that you admire from afar, or an employee. And these are created by businesses who are also aligned, as you are, with the core principles of conscious leadership. And how I know that is, these are clients of mine, they're friends, they're collaborators who have started companies, sometimes side hustles, and sometimes mega venture-backed companies that are soon to IPO, I'm quite sure. And all of them are created right here by a person who wants you to experience more presence and pleasure in your life. So you'll hear about these gift ideas at the end of this session. But first, let's get into presence. Take a deep breath. The most important, vital, and fundamental concept in conscious leadership is presence. Presence is one of these amazing gifts that we are given by being conscious beings. Once you can identify presence, you can learn about it, and you can begin to return to it, implementing different pathways that you've identified in your daily life. And presence is the resolution to all suffering, because presence keeps you aligned with your authentic self. And in every moment, you are in touch with reality. You can then trust when you identify that you have a whole body yes to something in your life. Presence is a state of conscious awareness. Awareness of what is, welcoming everything as it is, without the need to control or even understand it. Presence welcomes all authentic feelings, and it's possible at any time. And this is something that's not just in your head. This is a whole body presence experience that allows you to shift out of the drama triangle and into a space of empowerment. If the concept of the drama triangle is new to you and you're a fairly new listener to this show, then I'd love you to learn about the drama triangle and its opposite, which exists above the line, and that's called the empowerment triangle. You can learn about both of those in episode 6 of the Allowed podcast, as well as episode 7. Now, when you are in presence, you probably can remember being in ease, a state of ease, a deep form of peace that may or may not contain different thoughts, feelings, and sensations. You're in a state of flow where time means so much less, if anything at all. And if that feels far away for you, but you're curious enough to keep listening, I really invite you to play with this concept and, without judgment, just identify where it is that you tend to be and see if you can remember a time where that state of presence felt true for you. And perhaps find out, I wonder if I am present in this moment, and can I be? Would I be willing? Now, of course, you can't buy your way into presence, but the purpose of this mini-series is to give you 12 different tools. Now, for today's episode, we're going to talk about one of my favorite tools for accessing presence, especially when I feel like it's so far away, and it's called speaking unarguably. What is speaking unarguably? At a high level, speaking unarguably is simply the skill of being able to distinguish the difference between a fact and a story. It's the ability to name what is here now, your internal observations of your own body sensations, emotions, and thoughts, as well as your objective external observations that nobody can argue with because they are objectively true. If you would like to learn more about speaking unarguably, we have a really great training on this in episode number 63. And there I go even deeper into speaking unarguably, which I consider to be the communication ninja skill that enables you to talk about anything with anyone and remain grounded. Superpower. Keeps it clean, drama-free. I love speaking unarguably, especially when I feel like I'm really in that swirl of drama, because it helps me to focus my mind and my body on what actually is true now. Much like how I love my practice of Pilates, which takes over my whole consciousness and gives something for every single part of me to focus on. I love how speaking unarguably kind of gives me no choice but to connect to the present moment of what actually is true and what's just a swirl of stories in my head. For example, as we head into this holiday season, I've been present in times where I have received a gift and I thought to myself, I'm so happy that I received the gift. And also I don't want it. I don't want this gift. I'm going to probably eventually take this to donate and or it's just going to take up room in my closet and I just don't want it. And in those moments, I'm going into these stories, right? About like what this present is, what it means, what it's going to do and not do for me, how it's going to be in my way. But the sheer fact of it, if I'm speaking unarguably, is, this person handed me a box. I opened the box and inside was a sweater. I looked at the sweater. My energy went down. I imagined the sweater in my space. My energy went down further. And I noticed I had the thought, I don't want this sweater. Period. Is there a problem here? No, there's no problem here. So I can even speak unarguably to myself. And then I can make a more conscious choice that doesn't get me wrapped up in a swirl of what it means. I hope that's helpful to you as you go into this season. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this session, I have special gifts for each day of our Presence for Presence gift series. Each gift here is brought to you by a current or past client or a colleague that I've worked with. And these are self-made entrepreneurs who are leaders just like you, leaders of your whole life. And they are using conscious leadership to run their businesses and their lives. I'm also doing a giveaway each day where you can go to allowedpodcast.com and sign up to become an Allowed Insider. And you can actually win one of these gifts that way. You just sign up once and you're entered to win for all of the giveaways of this mini series, which is awesome. Today, we're giving away the 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership, which is a book by Jim Dempner, Diana Chapman of the Conscious Leadership Group, and Kaylee Klebb, as well as the wonderful Shift Deck, which is a deck of cards you can whip out anytime your family's in drama. And that's also produced by the Conscious Leadership Group. Now, the Shift Deck is a great tool. It's a great tool for work and for home. If you notice yourself getting caught up in the drama triangle, then a great way to diminish or at least have fun with and play with and learn from your own reactivity is to use the Shift Deck. I use it with my kids. I use it with myself. They know that when I take it out, I'm about to do something silly that actually helps me to drill in deeper into my drama and how ridiculous it is. And it does so in a way that's light and playful and does not put me in a villain position. I'm not blamed. There's a compassionate element to this deck, but it's actually a toy. It's fun. It's a game. I love this tool. Diana is an amazing coach, and she's also my personal leadership coach. She's been a guest on this podcast too. So listen back to her insightful discussion of how to bring conscious leadership into your work and your personal life. This was episode 17 as well as episode 28. You can purchase the 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership, the Shift Deck, and learn more about the Conscious Leadership Group in general at conscious.is. Now, I've personally been able to work with the Conscious Leadership Group and these 15 commitments. And this is, for me, it goes beyond a lifestyle. It's a devotion. It's literally changed my life. It's changed the way that I lead myself and that I create and the way that I understand existence at its very core. I highly recommend it for you or for any leader that you know. If you want a chance to win this book, then please go to unarguably.com. And that's where you're going to get to access the drawing. I use this book so often, and it's changed so many people's lives that I know. You're actually going to get to receive a signed copy if you're the winner of today's giveaway. So I really hope that you check out the book either way, but please go to enter your drawing and see if you can become the winner and get the signed copy from this amazing group of authors. And here it is, my beloved book. I also want to quickly remind you to subscribe to this podcast right now if you aren't already subscribed, because season 2 is coming very soon in January 2022. It's an amazing season that we've put together, and I really don't want you to miss it. You know, my team and I have put so much work into this. You're going to love it. It's very much designed just for you. That's it for today. I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.
Allowed. You are allowed to be whole.